let's get stuck straight into the adventure. Right now I am heading to the Busselton Jetty to do a scuba dive. Busselton Jetty is about 2 kilometers long and sits in around 9 meters of water. I have done a scuba dive there before. However, about 6 months ago, a group of artists from the local area created sculptures which they have placed around the end of the jetty, and those sculptures will eventually become artificial reefs and attract more fish to the area. So I'm heading down there right now to check it out for the first time. I'm really excited about this, and I will see you all out on the water.
First of all, check out my quick intro reel to see some highlights from the other adventures I've been getting up to, and if you are interested in any of the content you see here, please like and subscribe because it will go a long way to helping me grow my channel. I've almost reached my first 1,000 subscribers, so if you help me reach that mark, I will be very grateful. I ventured out to the Busselton Jetty to check out these sculptures with Swan Dive Busselton, a dive company that operates out of Busselton, and they take people on snorkeling or scuba diving tours of the Busselton Jetty or the HMAS Swan Shipwreck. They were a very approachable crew and quite knowledgeable about all the different dive sites in the area. They also helped us prepare all of our gear, get it onto the boat. They then ferried us out to the jetty, took us on the tour of the different sculptures, and then returned us back to the dive shop safe and sound. At one point I even played hide and seek with the tour guide, but she was onto it quite quickly and spotted me hiding above the structure. Some of the sculptures were really impressive, and I thought this crab was really cool. It even had a cuttlefish hiding underneath its platform. These sculptures were still relatively new, having only been in the water for about 6 months, and it was really great to see that they were already serving their purpose as an artificial reef, as most of these structures already had seagrasses, seaweeds and sponges growing on them. I think one of my favourite sculptures was this shipwreck, and it left me thinking, wow, you know what, this would be a great place for me to hide a treasure chest. So for those of you that don't know, I actually host a free snorkeling community for people on Instagram. It's called Sequest WA. Anyone is welcome to join, and essentially I organise snorkeling activities up and down the WA coastline where I hide treasure chests out amongst the reef, and then I challenge my community to come down and try and find them. If they do, they score a small prize, and I thought hosting one at Busselton Jetty one day would be an absolutely fantastic idea. I also really liked this sculpture that seemed to be fashioned after a southern right whale. I was able to swim in amongst it, which was really cool, and there was also a lot of fish hanging around that area, so there was a bit of action going on as well. I also got to check out this amazingly detailed sculpture of what appeared to be a mermaid looking after her giant octopus. For those of you that don't know, there is an underwater observatory that goes all the way down to the ocean floor at the end of the Busselton Jetty. So if you don't scuba dive or snorkel, you can actually walk out to this observatory or catch the train, and then you can walk down a spiral staircase looking through viewing windows along the way and check out all of the action going on below the waves. However, on this particular day while we were diving, there were other divers in the water that were cleaning the windows and doing some maintenance, I believe, to the jetty. So there was a bit of banging and clanging going on, which frightened some of the fish away, so there weren't as many fish there on this particular day compared to previous dives I have done there. And then also scrubbing the windows clean kind of was disturbing sediment, and it made the water kind of green and murky looking. Not only had the cleaning and maintenance dive crew stirred the water up a little bit, leaving it kind of murky looking, but you're also swimming underneath the jetty and in the shadow of the jetty structure, so it does leave the water quite dark, and I am looking forward to eventually getting some dive lights that I can use to help assist my GoPro and maybe eventually some other camera equipment in future. Despite the maintenance crew being in the water and scaring away some of the marine life, I still came across a wide variety of fish and cephalopods. I saw cuttlefish, I saw western talma and old wives, I saw yellowhead hula fish, which are the little tiny white fish you see swimming around in several of my video clips. I came across crested morwongs, western king wrasse, black-headed pullers. I even saw a pretty large school of black sand bass and some juvenile jewfish at the end of this video, which I thought was really cool. And if you would like to learn more about some marine life, you can also check out Sequest WA to look at my fish fact cards that I created to try and teach people about some of the things I see while out snorkeling and scuba diving.
Well, just like that, my scuba dive is all over with. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was interesting seeing all the different sculptures. I think my favourite two were probably the shipwreck and the whale, which were both right next to each other. I was able to swim through both of them. It was a bit of a tight squeeze. I bumped my cylinder a couple of times, but it's possible. And there were schools of rough bullseyes hanging around those structures, which was pretty cool. So yeah, great dive. I love diving the Busselton Jetty. Adventure's not over though. Right now I am heading down into the southwest region of Western Australia. It's a really beautiful pocket of the country, totally worth checking out if you're ever out this way. And I'm going to be catching up with a mate of mine named Cam Bostock. Cam Bostock has a social media presence. He's doing really well with it, crushing it in fact. He's got about 500,000 followers on all of his different platforms. He's mad keen about camping and in particular hiking, and even more so endurance hiking, doing massive long through hikes. He's hiked the entire length of New Zealand. Pretty soon he's going to be hiking from Mexico to Canada along the PCT, which is really, really cool. And he runs a Patreon community, which I am part of, and he organizes these campouts and guided tours for his Patreons, and it's going to give me an opportunity to showcase some of the hikes that you can do while visiting the southwest. Alright, let's get stuck into it.
Good morning everybody. So we got up at 4 AM and we hiked up Mount Hassel for sunrise. Look at the views. Stirling Ranges is absolutely stunning. That is Mount Toolbrunup, the third highest mountain in the Stirling Ranges after Bluff Knoll and Mount Ellen. I didn't film the hike up because it was pitch black, but I'm going to film it going back down. Alright, let's go. After witnessing an absolutely brilliant sunrise and having a chat and a laugh at the top of the peak, it was time to descend back down the mountain to our vehicles. Mount Hassel stands 847 metres or 2,278 feet high, and the trail to the peak ascends a total of 430 metres over 1.5 kilometres, making it a relatively steep climb and descent. Working full-time and having a family of 5 plus 2 dingoes to take care of and be there for gives me limited opportunity to get away, but I do have a supportive wife and just make the most of whatever opportunities I have, because I just absolutely love getting outdoors. Most of the hiking trail going up and down the mountain is made out of small chunks of granite and gravel, and even though the ground was dry, a few times it did slip away from underneath my feet. So once I saw the car park in sight, I decided to focus on what I was doing and get back to the car safely. I arrived at camp pretty late last night, after dark in fact, so I couldn't show you around. I'm staying at the Mount Trio Bush Camp, which costs $20 a night for an unpowered site, which is fine for me because I'm camping, which is awesome. But I just thought I'd show you their camp kitchen. It's called the Bluff Knoll Ski Club HQ, which is pretty cool. Bluff Knoll does get a bit of snow on it, but not enough to go skiing down. So it's obviously a little bit of humour thrown in there, which is great. Got some skis up there as well. And they've got these long tables, and they've got a bar table as well with some bar stools, more tables over there. There's a couple of sinks and some gas cookers over there in the distance. They've also got that awesome fridge. And I was reading in their notice board that they're actually going to have a live band playing country music here during Easter, which is going to be awesome. We have had a rest at camp and we are heading out now to do the Bald Head hike. I've heard a lot of really great things about this hike. Apparently it's one of the most beautiful hikes in Western Australia, so I am super keen. Let's go check it out. This hiking trail is really well built. They've got these fantastic boardwalks for you to walk on. It helps to preserve the environment, but it also makes it nice and easy to walk on and check out the views. Awesome. The Bald Head Trail is a 13-kilometre long Class 4 hike and will take about 4 to 7 hours to complete. It is an absolutely stunning coastal walk with a few large sand dunes and even a sizable staircase to navigate your way up and down. Okay, I'm a little bit stumped here. There is a trail going that way. It kind of looks like there's one going that way, but I'm going to go this way. If that was a sign, it's worn out. I'm just taking a guess here. But this is the right way, because this is the direction of Bald Head, and yes, I have made the right choice. There's the track. Look at that, Bald Head, getting pretty close to the end now. That was a lot of stairs. I am not looking forward to climbing those coming back up the other way. It'll be alright. Nice little forest to walk through. Some tunnels made by the trees. Cool. I have made it to the end of the Bald Head hike, but this is only halfway. Once you get to the end, you have to turn around and go back. So it's 6.5 kilometres to here, 13-kilometre return. And this whole weekend has been fantastic for me. It's a practice run for a longer adventure I'm going to be going on a little bit later on in the year. But don't go anywhere, because we're heading back to camp now. We're going to rest, and then tomorrow morning I have one more location I'd like to take you. We are going to climb up Bluff Knoll, the highest mountain in the Stirling Ranges. Good morning everyone. We had an early start this morning, got up at 3:30, got to Bluff Knoll by 4 AM, and we've been hiking for about an hour. It's a bit of a whiteout at the moment, so I don't know if it's going to clear up by the time we make it to the peak, but I'm absolutely loving this hike anyway. It's nice and crisp and fresh. It's pretty cold up here, but you do have to climb a lot of stairs and you do work up a bit of a sweat, so I'm just waiting for the rest of the group, and I'll get back to you in a minute. On this day, Bluff Knoll was a challenging hike with high winds and tired legs from 3 days of hiking. We also had some first-time climbers hiking with us, so it took a little bit longer to reach the top of the mountain than I think we first anticipated. Cam was kind enough to carry all the supplies we would need for coffee and a Milo up the mountain, so once we reached the peak, we were able to warm up with a warm drink. Cam does take really good care of his crew, and as I actually release this video, he is currently away on a 3-day wilderness first aid and medicine course to increase his knowledge and even better prepare himself than he already is. Okay, I'm sheltered by this huge cliff at the moment from the wind. It wasn't the most ideal conditions to go to the top of Bluff Knoll, but I still really enjoyed experiencing that raw side of nature, so yeah, had a lot of fun going up there, it was great. Bluff Knoll stands 1,099 metres or 3,606 feet above sea level, with a prominence of about 650 metres or 2,130 feet. On a clear day, you get some absolutely spectacular views from the peak of Bluff Knoll. Clouds are starting to break. Wow, look at that. What a view. Well and truly down past the cloud layer now. Looks fantastic. It's so pretty along here. The Stirling Ranges are an absolutely magic sight to behold. This was an absolute ripper weekend getaway, and I was thrilled to be a part of it. Well, there you have it. Bluff Knoll, the tallest mountain in the Stirling Ranges. It was a whiteout for us, you can see there's still a lot of cloud cover up there, but I still really enjoyed it. As I said, coming back down the mountain, just experiencing that raw side of nature was absolutely fantastic. I love the cloud cover rushing over the top of the mountain, the high winds, and just seeing all of the wonderful plants and trees. There are plants up there that are found nowhere else in the world. It's pretty awesome. So yeah, hope you enjoyed that one. That's all I have for you today. If you're ever in the southwest, check out some of the things I did. It's a beautiful region of Western Australia. And until next time, enjoy life, have a great time, and I'll see you all on my next adventure.